What's going on, guys? I'm Jace.
That would have been too early. Do it again.
No, it was not too early.
Okay, fine.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jace.
I'm Josh.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jace.
Stop it. We're watching Nostalgia Critic for the Amazing Spider-Man. What did you think about this movie?
It was nice to see a reboot, and it was interesting to see a different enemy or one of the different rogues.
It was interesting for me because I had to this was like my first introduction to the idea of a reboot where it's not like the same version.
With such a big rogue gallery for Spider-Man, reboots kind of feel like it's almost like they become necessary.
Yeah, I mean, with such a wide rogues gallery, you're right. I liked at the same time, reboots kind of they allow you to do things differently. Now, here's the thing. Have you seen
okay, first of all, in Spider-Verse, Miles Morales' uncle dies, but his father is alive.
In the video game, it's
the opposite.
Okay, well. Man, you just love talking about that video game.
It's a good fucking game.
I get it's a video game, but
it's a good fucking game.
I get it. All right. Back to this movie. I think Uncle Ben's death, Charlie Sheen, it's Martin Sheen, who plays Uncle Ben. He does fine, but then they have that weird thing where they can't even say with great power comes great responsibility. He's like, if you could do things that other people couldn't, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's not what it's at stake. Responsibility, not whatever. It's responsibility.
Not choice. Responsibility.
I'm like, okay, you could have just. I get it. You're saying the exact thing without saying the exact thing. Have you seen?
Didn't he say it word in the Sam Raimi movies? Did he say it word for word?
With great power comes
from the comics.
Yes. In the
Yeah, you're tearing out a classic, very important message from Spider-Man.
Remember when in Friends. When Joey wanted to sound smarter, so he clicked on every word in the letter and used a thesaurus. You signed it, Baby Kangaroo Tribbiani. Oh my god, yeah, that's literally what it is. With the great power comes great responsibility, to whatever Martin Sheen said. And man, I remember thinking I liked this movie. I liked that it took itself a little more seriously than the Sam Raimi movies, but at the same time. I think people don't look on these movies with such guff because that second one is such trash. Because I remember liking this movie. There's a part it has such good Spider-Man moments. There's a part where he's remember he's in the sewer and he's just chilling in his web and he's sitting on
playing
a game on his phone. That's so Spider-Man. Come on. What'd you think of Andrew Garfield? I think he's a good actor. Yeah, he's a great actor. Have you seen Social Network?
I have not.
Neither have I. I just know he's got a good performance. Yeah, but then he's his voice is very strange because remember he's a British actor doing a New York accent. It honestly sounds like the fake voice that Tom Holland does from Homecoming. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm gonna get you out of here.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Also, the lizard looks like a fucking Goomba from the Super Mario's movie.
Exactly.
Why not give him the snout, the protruding snout? You know what I mean? Also, the lizard's plan was stupid.
Spider days, spider days. Sorry, there's more things that rhyme with days. Let's start rhyming them right now. Wait, I think we messed it up. Goddamn, we really hate this song.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. So you think the Raimi films got backlash? Wait until I reveal the tangled mark web that we weave.
Oh no.
Spider-Man 3 disappointing many fans and even the filmmakers themselves becoming frustrated. Sony decided no more films were gonna come out of this universe. But there was a problem. Sony's rights to the Spider-Man character required the movie to be made every 5 years if they wanted to keep them. Which meant the long time span usually provided between rebooted franchises like Batman and Superman was cut pretty damn tight from 2007 to 2012. Let's be honest, not giving enough time for people to put the old Spider-Man franchise behind them and crave a new one. Which is why I have the controversial thought. Okay, not hugely controversial. Okay, honestly not controversial. Pretty much. I think that...
Who's calling him?
Hello, Mr. Internet.
You're gonna regret it.
I told you before, I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna regret it.
Look, I'm hired to give my honest thoughts and a unique point of view, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Your funeral.
I think Amazing Spider-Man is a fascinating movie. You can't say that!
The first one's not that bad. It has its problems, but
With that
I like
said,
that they went back to the
I
web
think it's the
shooters.
best
yes. And then he makes it, and I love watching him make that shit.
The MCU films might be slow
Oh, that was
burns
hot.
and stuff, which I'm down to wait for. And rewatching the Raimi films, I do find a new appreciation for them. Particularly
Oh my
with
god,
two.
Dennis Leary's in this
Maybe
movie.
that's
I
why This
forgot.
one intrigues me. It had the most impossible task of winning people over with a new Spider-Man reboot after
I like
a
the
goofy,
action
but
better.
still iconic series, and all the changes in the film reflect that. Instead of going cheerful and clean, it went angry and dirty. Rather than Golden Age comic dialogue, it went more modern-day comic dialogue. It brought back the writer of Ordinary People and
Also, the
allowed
suit
him to
looks a little
write
weird.
screenplay more like Ordinary People. The main character just happened to be a superhero. At the time, there were a lot of audiences that were happy to have a more grounded Spider-Man flick, especially with other comic book movies going that direction. But the hate boner erected quick, and soon die-hard fans declared if you liked anything in this, you were betraying the sanctity of the franchise. Now take on this. Clearly, this was the one step too far. But I will admit, the same way I was asking people to see how I could find the originals too corny, shouldn't I also see how people could find this too safe? Yes, it's more real, but doesn't that suck out the uniqueness of Spider-Man going all in big like the comic did? I will always remember the iconic imagery from those films, and here I have Lizard Voldemort and webbed
Oh, Lizard Voldemort.
Love it, hate it, or somewhere in between. I find it intriguing because it begs the question of what should a comic book movie lean more towards, a comic book or a movie? Well, let's look at the first of these Mark Webb films to get an idea. This is the worst thing to ever happen to Spider-Man. So I'm told. This is Amazing Spider-Man. We start with a flashback of Peter Parker as a little boy, whose parents take hide and seek very seriously.
The parent shit.
Next, we're gonna play charades.
Blindfolded.
But it looks like somebody broke in, which means why don't you visit your Uncle Ben and Aunt May for the rest of your life?
Doesn't like crust on his sandwiches. He likes to sleep with a little light
It
on.
it
He
didn't
also
do
likes to wear
anything.
Spider-Man pajamas. Wait, what? Cut to years later as Peter, played now by Andrew Garfield, discovers his parents died in a plane crash and is now a geek, I guess.
Yeah.
Morning, Flash.
So on the one hand, I don't just want the same Peter Parker again, and they do give us something different. Garfield is
That's
more
true.
of a brain in the same way Jobs or Zuckerberg is a brain. It's less
I saw that shit.
debate, less dorky, and more awkward. Girls will talk to him, but they won't date him. If he didn't become Spider-Man, he'd probably run some company that would take over the world. Similar to how if Maguire didn't become Spider-Man, he'd probably push people around. One would be a physical bully and the other would be an industry bully. So already, I like that it keeps the same ideas but tweaks them enough to be different and new. So, why are you pretending he's high school George McFly then?
Good morning, Parker.
First off, he looks 29. That might be because he's 29. It would make sense if they started this as an adult and he was already bitten by the spider.
Yeah.
Second,
Oh, that
look
would have
at
been
the
so
pick on
good.
him. He's a good-looking skater with more hair gel than Everett from Oh Brother Where Art Thou if he was in a boy band.
They could have done what
The idea
the
he's
Spider-Man
got
video
bottom
game did, where
is
he's an
blue
adult.
shade reserved for. Even that kid doesn't seem that bad. Okay, the grandma sweater's a little weird, but we had this for 3 movies. He's supposed to just be.
It's true, we have seen
particularly
his
with
origin
him
story
looking out
enough
for kids
times.
being bullied where others don't.
They even make a joke about that in Spider-Verse.
Put him down, Eugene.
That's great, but it's inconsistent. He even takes out his contacts to put glasses and wore glasses, but let's be honest. It's done so we can identify him as the doofa dork from the previous films. He wore glasses. Parker! Uncle Ben, played well by Martin Sheen, has a similar problem. Even though he gives a really great performance, too many elements keep calling back to the original, even reworking the hammered-in catchphrase.
If you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
From 6 words to 21 words. Abbreviate that next to what would Jesus do? The movie tries to be more its own thing. It is pretty engaging. Peter finds his father's old bag and looks up the scientist he used to work with on Bing, the search engine I use when I don't want someone to check my history because nobody would ever think of checking Bing.
That's
Which
genius.
leads into Oscorp.
Welcome to Oscorp. Born from the mind of our founder, Norman Osborn.
Appearing here as a dark overlord because we haven't figured out how to ruin him yet.
The
Oh, that's so true. They didn't because we didn't cast him yet.
We're especially excited about our evil lizard man division. Honestly, we don't care what we do here as long as the color green is involved. He comes across a girl in his class named Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone, who works with Dr. Connors, played by Reese Ifans. Crossing my fingers I said that right. Damn it!
I want to create a world without weakness.
Doing a bang-up job there. Gwen figures out quickly, though, that Peter is not supposed to be there.
Following me? No, I'm not following you. No, I'm not. I had no idea you worked here.
Then why would you be here?
I just snuck in because I love science.
So the romance between these two always seems to hover in between adorably likable and Jesus, stop the hang-up first shit!
Yeah, it's like...
I was touching up stuff.
It's like they're, like, ad-libbing.
I'm not gonna answer that. Tell your mom, please.
Oh.
Because they were dating in real life.
They were nice.
No, they're beautiful.
They were like kissing you. You're an amazing kisser.
Well, you know, it was good for me too.
You always just make it, but you're like that close. Peter finds himself in a room of spiders and, spoilers, he bites one of them. Oh, that's right, it's the other way around. Sorry, I see this scene done so rarely. This results in him having a strange reaction to Bums using his head as a coaster. I feel like a lot of people would have a strange reaction to that. Beer!
Get your hand off her.
This is fucking shit. This is fucking shit.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Who is this guy? He's upset someone's acting rude after he places a beer on someone's head, and somehow he riles everyone up to fight Peter. I wish the spider bit him. I want to see the crazy ass shit he would do.
The fuck?
Despite that, I do love this fight because it's basically a comedy of errors. Every move is accidental, but works in Peter's favor. I love how he holds up his arm knowing it's pointless, like the coyote waving before he falls, but it actually works with his new powers.
I'm so sorry.
I learned self-defense on Bing, so like anything on there, if I succeed, it's completely by accident.
Completely by accident.
To get home late, upsetting Uncle Ben and Aunt May, played effectively by Sally Field.
What?
He caught the fly.
That's a fly, Peter.
It'd be great if he was just like... He ate it like a spider.
Why does it feel weird to see Spider-Man acting like a Spider-Man? Bing! Bing will have my answers!
This fucking scene.
Well, this will make other morning activities fun.
Oh, sticky fingers.
Dr. Connors and reveals that he's the son of his old partner, Richard Parker.
We were gonna change the lives of millions. The problem was always...
The K-rate algorithm?
Let me go out on a limb. I mean, let me lend you a hand. I mean, I'd give my right arm if I could. Your arm is missing. Fuck, I'm so bad at this. Peter, through his father's research, figures out the algorithm to cross species with hopefully no side effects.
Oh, the basketball scene!
Painted on the basketball court while players practice. That seems like a sensible place to do it. Clearly, if anything goes wrong, it's the player's fault.
You did that on purpose, Flash!
I'm gonna continue this on the Buzzsaw and Shop class, where it's safe!
No, but I should have. You better watch your back.
That's right, teen girl half my size who looks like a threat. Flash is weird in this. Parker, of course, uses this opportunity to stick up for her, embarrassing the bull. That's it! You're going to detention! And the basketball team. Practice starts at 7 a.m. sharp.
So all this is about getting even.
Ben balls Peter out for acting insensitive and showing off moments before he acts insensitive and shows him off.
He's got you on his computer. I'm his probation officer.
Total creeper! He put your head on squirrels' bodies. He has all sorts of issues.
What the f...
After talking with Gwen, he tries out some of his new abilities in what I suppose is supposed to be a training montage, but honestly it comes across more like a jeans commercial.
Woo! Oh yeah.
He's not supposed to be a skateboarder though, is he?
It's this movie trying to have like its own identity.
Connors, once again, causing him to be late to pick up Aunt May.
That's what's at stake here. Responsibility.
Where's my dad? He didn't think it was his responsibility to be here to tell me this himself.
I like that Peter and Ben's blow-up seems more built up over time, unlike the original.
Ah, yeah, that's
true.
true.
Snaps out of nowhere. Both their performances feel very justified and believable. Yeah, of course, it doesn't help that it's followed by a Curb Your Enthusiasm bit.
You can leave a penny anytime. You have to spend $10 to take a penny.
I don't have 2 cents.
You can't afford your milk. Just step aside.
This is where he takes a baseball bat, starts smashing up all the items, and says, "Too much!" The guy behind Peter robs the place as Peter just watches.
Hey, kid, little help?
Not my policy.
I missed the part where that's not my policy. Oh, God, you see why you need to be your own thing?
You know,
at least I'm sure
it's strange to ask.
Yeah, okay.
It's strange to ask some rando, like, hey, help me catch that guy.
I still know he exists.
Someone call an ambulance! Uncle Ben!
The police put a warrant out for the lead singer of Hanson, and Peter becomes completely obsessed with his dead father. I mean, completely obsessed with his dead uncle. He can have 2 dings.
Not today, Flash.
Hey, come on, man. I don't just want to talk. It's better, right? I'm sorry.
I like that Flash sympathizes with him, again giving the people in this world a little bit more dimension. But did they need to use that reality show gasp sound effect?
Your own cookbook.
He stops criminals
the actual
trying to
sound
find
effect?
Uncle Ben's killer, realizing he's gonna need to hide his identity.
My God, I was just attacked by El Cruzado.
This is ridiculous, though.
You thought that camera angle would make him look less silly. He crafts his web slingers, practices swinging around, and eventually perfects his Spider-Man costume. Perfects is a kind word.
Hey, M.A. Yeah, eggs? Organic, got it.
Yeah, let's use the real voice he would have with that mask on. Yet he still mumbles less than McGuire.
Oh. I mean, I feel like I like the costume in the sense that it's like something that this, because Peter Parker's supposed to be poor, and the Sam Raimi one, that was very clearly like a Hollywood suit.
It looked like a movie prop?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. While Garfield is not the young Peter Parker the comics portrayed, I would argue he's more the Spider-Man the comics portrayed.
Yep, the quipster.
Spider-Man was a jokester, had good one-liners, and could be confident to the point of being almost a jerk. I feel like that's more what we got here, as he's legit pretty funny.
Use the window. Get out the window. There you go. You got it. I just did 80% of your job. You mother Hubbard.
You a cop?
Really?
I mean, what zingers did McGuire
Really?
have?
Here's your change. It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
One-liners was not their specialty.
It helps maintain the...
Except for him, that goes without saying.
Stop, get off, man. No.
Spider prick, fucker will nail you in the dick. I'm concerned, though, with Peter returning home with bruises.
Who does this to you?
I want to take karate, Ma.
Secrets have a cost. They're not for free.
Remember, if you can do good things for good people, you have a moral obligation to... Oh, Christ, how did it go again?
Cross-species genetics is finally working.
Dr. Connors is making progress with his experiments, but Oscorp tells him he has to move forward with human trials, as apparently Norman Osborn's life depends on it.
I've used lizard DNA to help Freddy regrow that limb.
He's catching flies with his tongue, but aside from that, he's doing great. He's shut down, though, because he can't do human trials fast enough, so naturally, he experiments on himself. Meanwhile, Peter is invited to Gwen's house for dinner, where he discovers his latest enemy, a police captain who wants Spider-Man arrested, played by Dennis Leary, is his girlfriend's father. Let's just steal that for homecoming.
Oh, damn.
An amateur assaulting.
I missed it.
I think most people would say that he was providing a public service. Most people would be wrong.
It's not even accurate. Batman blows it. He probably saved thousands in property damage alone. I like Peter has to really face off with the pros and cons of being a vigilante, as he ruins a case for the cops following a car thief to bigger criminals. But he turned him into quickly not knowing. I also like it only takes one movie to reveal to his girlfriend who he really is. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty hot reveal.
Spicy.
Do me. Connor's experiment goes awry, and he starts transforming
instantly
into
turned
a
on.
lizard.
Oh, yeah.
A monster who throws cars off a bridge and are webbed off screen. Forgot to schedule a talk with your editor there.
I really like this scene where he saves the kid.
My kid is trapped.
And that lizard should really have a snout. I mean, I know it's a nitpick, but look at him. He looks weird.
Exactly. Give out the outward face.
Just a normal guy.
Josh, you know what you told me once before?
What?
It's an aesthetic.
Guy, but I will kill you. I enjoy that around this point, his quest becomes less about revenge, looking for Uncle Ben's killer, and more about helping others. Which, as far as I know, transitioning from revenge to crime fighting is not part of the Spider-Man origin, but I kind of like it. It adds an extra layer. But things heat up when Parker goes to Connors and discovers his toy lightsaber is transforming him into the lizard. And even that healed-up rat is having a few issues.
Oh!
Nobody believes Parker that the lizard is real, so he tries getting a picture for proof, locating him in the sewers.
Did you know that you can save 15% or more on car insurance?
Well, that's ironic. Down came the rain and washed me out. Peter gets away, but in easily the dumbest scene in the movie, he leaves his
Are you kidding me?
camera. Major genius my ass. That's like Clark Kent taking his Superman outfit to be dry cleaned. After a funny and even touching moment where Gwen helps mend Peter, Connors goes more and more crazy, tracking Peter down to his school.
I like this
Sir,
scene.
you need a hall pass.
Oh, the Stan Lee cameo.
The fight scene is fun and leads to one of my favorite Stan Lee cameos, as well as something I bet you never thought you'd see in a Spider-Man film up to this point. A girl do something. Oh, come on. Clearly you should be falling off a building or hanging onto something. That's both. Okay, I'm impressed.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw you out the window now. What?
That was a great line.
Something else I bet you never thought you'd see in a Spider-Man movie back then. The police kicking ass.
Oh yeah, fuck him up. It's not their fault that he had regenerative powers.
Well, how about that, man? We may get a policeman comic coming soon. Nah, shit, we still suck. He releases a gas.
It is cool just how much they
lizards
fuck
as
him.
he believes
fuck
that'll
him
create
up.
a stronger race. Gwen starts working on an antidote while the cops knock out Spider-Man in their search for the lizard.
She makes the antidote. She's actually useful.
Oh shit, they are. Okay, you die, you die, you die, all of you die.
Parker, it's headed to Oscorp, and your daughter's there right now.
He convinces the police captain to let him go in yet another attempt to recreate the first one. A bunch of New Yorkers band together, at least the crane operators, which there are a lot of, conveniently all on this long stretch.
Yeah.
To help Spider-Man swing towards the lizard. Yeah, you mess with Spidey.
It looks
you mess
good
with
though,
New York.
compared to the first movie.
Oh,
The
thank
first
God.
movie, yeah.
Oh no, looks like Gwen's gonna be the damsel in distress.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Clearly everything was better in the other films. That's just good writing.
He's such a good
Granted, He
point.
did still get the device he needed to turn everyone to lizard people, but she tells her dad what's going on.
I don't understand.
I do. Your boyfriend is a man of many masks. I get it.
We're both written as competent in this. It'll take a little getting used to, but I think it's a good thing. As you'd imagine, fighting the lizard is a difficult task, even for the web slinger.
Poor Peter Parker.
Picked a pint of pickled peppers.
I know, but it's so funny!
It's not alone.
Oh yeah.
God, I arrived with no backup. I mean, maybe he radioed them in and they're on their way, but time was of the essence, so he had to head up there early. I just want to believe in smart cops in movies! The captain is hurt, but Parker turns Connors back and they stop the lizard bomb from going off.
All about you, Peter. The city needs you.
Stupid ass plan.
Make enemies.
McGuire fanboys mostly. That guy that's been memed a million times? Don't try to understand it. Just promise I won't be a meme in the next movie. I just guaranteed it'll happen, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Fucking internet. The captain dies, and Peter keeps his distance from Gwen, trying to honor his wishes. Oh, Christ. We have to go through yet another forced breakup we know isn't gonna last, and the characters are too stupid to figure it out.
You made you promise, didn't he? Stay away from me.
Okay, this is a comedy show. I have to hold on to some stupid characters here. I guess it does end on kind of a confusing note, as Gwen and Peter's relationship isn't the only thing pointlessly open-ended. We have the mystery of Peter's parents and the mystery of Uncle Ben's killer, which isn't a mystery. It's this guy. What was even going to be discovered with that? Oh my God, he's a singer for Nickelback. Now I hate him even more. Whatever life has in store for me, I will never forget these words. If you can do good things for other people, you have a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here, not choice, responsibility. Just rolls right off the tongue. And that was The Amazing Spider-Man. Is it good? In my opinion, clearly yes. But the previous films are more unique, iconic, and I can see why.
Yeah, these are just kind of like every other movie.
This film was chopped up a lot in editing, as when you watch the teaser, there's tons of breathtaking shots that make you feel like you're free falling. And in the film, we get bits of that, but not for very long.
Should have been. That was never in the movie.
Had the film utilized more of those long shots and some of the more colorful sequences, I think we could have had one of the great Spider-Man flicks. It would have helped give it more of an identity. As is, its strength is in its performances and its dialogue, as I really like these characters and want to see them in more good movies. I think Garfield is a great Spider-Man, and while not an authentic young Peter Parker, he is still an interesting young Peter Parker. Remember, he does evolve in the comics from a dweeby teen boy to a strong, confident man. And I just get that latter half much more from Garfield than I do Maguire. If somehow we could have Maguire as young Peter Parker and Garfield as older Peter Parker, I think we'd have a perfect combo there. For a while, this was the Spider-Man movie that was more my speed. I dug the realistic conversations over the Adam West style dialogue, but I do see now this is a bit more run-of-the-mill. I will never forget what happens in the Raimi films, where with Webb, I remember more of the feelings in the moment, but not a ton else. I don't think the strengths of the film should be pushed aside, though. The acting is good. The dialogue feels real. The web-slinging scenes, when they hold on them long enough, really make you feel like you're swinging through the air. After all the other superhero films and even Spider-Man films that came out after this, I can definitely see why some couldn't get on board with this flick. But it's still worth acknowledging what worked in it, especially knowing the time frame and limitations they had to work with. Is it amazing? I guess not. But in my opinion, it's still a decent Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
And that's the end of March, so that's the end of Spider-Month. Thank you all so much for watching.
There's one more.
I mean, I guess I could go one day more, but it had to be like something really special. I mean, something really big. It had to be the absolute worst Spider-Man movie ever made.
Oh boy.
Can't afford your milk, just step aside.
I'll say it, yeah, I'll say it. The Andrew Garfield one, the first one, is pretty solid. It has problems, but I think there's like genuinely something of value in it. The problem is that it had to try to make it like differentiate itself from the Tobey Maguire ones like immediately, and everybody else. Ugh. And it's like, I mean, you already just have to like if there, I feel like it would have been different if there were no Tobey Maguire movies. You know what I mean? It would have been it would have done a different route. It would have been differently received, maybe more positively. And then I don't know why. I don't think I ever felt that way in when I was watching Homecoming or Spider-Verse.
What do you mean that way?
Like I didn't feel like when it came to the Andrew Garfield ones, people are immediately comparing it to the Tobey Maguire ones. But I never did that with the Homecoming or Spider-Verse. Mostly because Spider-Verse has a different protagonist, Miles. And
Homecoming and Spider-Verse are definitely more true to the source material, I guess you could say.
A lot of people would disagree with you on that. Because he doesn't make the suit.
I'm not saying they're completely true. They're more true, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man.
And he's actually the right age. You know, he's younger than both of us.
Not by much.
Same age as us, whatever.
I honestly think that because the second movie was so bad that it shapes people's opinion on this movie. They just lump them all together. Like a lot of people hate the sequel trilogy of the Star Wars movies, the Disney ones. But I think the first one's pretty solid. I really like the Force Awakens. Yeah.
Jinx.
Well, yeah, I said yeah. The Force Awakens was pretty good, but then like the later movies, it's just it's kind of the same thing with the first Amazing Spider-Man. Just it's like and like it's the whole Green Goblin thing. I'm like, they were setting it up, and they were doing okay. Like I love the part where he's like, everybody dies, even Norman Osborn, and I'm like, oh, so that maybe it was clear that he's sick, so he's gonna do something in order to try to not be sick, but it'll turn him into the Green Goblin. All right, I'm done. You done?
Yes.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
See you guys in the next one.